Welcome to the Human Design Ray Festival 2025.
My topic for today is called Definition Priorities and Keynoting Your Superpowers. Now, this is a fun way of looking at the chart, and let me just take you to it. When you look at the chart, there are always very clear and distinct priorities. Now, sometimes it's not exactly like you can pinpoint exactly what is more important than what, but in most cases you can be fairly precise in looking at a chart and saying, hey, there are certain things that are really priority in this chart, and it would be a good idea to pay attention to these priorities. And the first channel, in terms of looking at definition, meaning channels, the first channel to look at is the one that defines the authority center. Okay, so I just want to emphasize this idea that whatever defines the authority center in the chart is really important, because that's where your authority is. This is where your decision-making authority is. Now, that's almost always the priority in terms of definition, in terms of channels. Why do I say almost always? Well, simply because whenever you make a rule, there's always going to be an exception to the rule, all right? But generally, in most charts, if you look at the channel that defines the authority center, that's the priority in your design. And everything, it's like a pivot, it's like a spine. Everything kind of hangs around it. This is like that's the central theme. And of course, we can look at the Incarnation Cross gates, the sun and earth on both sides. And they obviously they represent the essence of who we are and what we came here to do. But we can only live them correctly as long as we respect the energetics of our priorities in our design. And in other words, we only get to live our Incarnation Cross if we follow the strategy and authority and these energetic priorities as they are outlined in our chart. On one hand, we do it, we live our design even without knowing human design. And on the other hand, it really helps to know human design and to be aware of it. So that's what I want to do today. Just have a look at this, have a look at a chart from this perspective. Like what are the priorities and how we can keynote them. It's not a definitive take. Nowhere near, it's just a fun way to be looking at charts and fun way to actually be noticing the priorities in your design. And, as we observe these priorities, we can keynote them and just really have fun in the process, of doing that. So here is a chart of actually another Julia. This is Julia Roberts, and I used it in the brief preview. Maybe you've seen that. Just to say that, okay, so we've got these 4 channels in the chart over here. And obviously the authority is in the solar plexus. So obviously this channel of mating, design focused on reproduction, or in other words, the channel of intimacy is really the priority here. And then, very closely second is the preservation, the custodianship. Now, what does it mean? It means that everything this person does needs to come from this very deep, intimate connection with either the project or the people that she's involved with, right? So unless, she's involved in a project or in a relationship or whatever, from this place of deep, intimate connection, it's not gonna give her any satisfaction, really, because she's after that deep, intimate connection. Also, not only intimacy being the nickname of this channel, but connection being the nickname for response, right? The life force is connecting with something that comes from outside. So that's priority number 1. And I mean, in this chart, we can actually see it very easily also in terms of like split, because we've got triple split and the other 2 islands of definition follow behind. The next one would be anything below the throat. And here we have the alpha channel. And then finally, we go into the mental realm, and that's the abstract channel, abstraction, mental activity mixed with clarity. So So what do I make out of that? I would say that, in order to really be satisfied, firstly, she needs to uh, wait to feel who or what is it that she is connecting with deeply. And then with that project or with these people, she can be the custodian and somebody who stands up and defends the life, the defense circuit. And she is using her alpha channel for that purpose. So she's leading other people that she's close with to stand up for the right values. And she's using all her understanding of the past as a way to share um, maybe some stories or whatever, so that she gets people on board, so that they really are closely together working for uh, defending the world, the life. That's a big part of what the defense circuit is about. So looking at these four channels over here, just for example, this identity connected to the throat. It's very talkative. It has so many things to say. Any channel that is G to the throat, if you've got four channels that connect G center to the throat center, they really talk a lot. They talk, sometimes they talk more than people with an open throat. They really, really have a lot of things to say. It's the identity that wants to be expressed, you know. And yet,
This is Julian
if
Roller. Yeah.
yeah, and yet if she just goes with that without taking time to feel whether she's really connected with the issue, with the topic, or with the person, with the project, if she just starts to be the leader, the alpha, leading people and telling them how to get where they need to get, without actually being really deeply connected with the issue, with the topic, it's not going to work. I mean, she could be a great leader, but it's not going to bring her any satisfaction unless she's really deeply connected with it. Or she could be just saying her point of view, like with the abstract channel, these people see something happens and they've got like 17 versions of what's happened. It's like it's been like that and like that, and then there is all this activity, and then the clarity comes like, oh, and they really get some realization, eventually. Again, she needs to share it in response when emotionally clear. So you can see how this strategy and authority is always like the golden grail, and all the things line up in a certain order. This is the priority number one, and the alpha channel is working in service of these two channels here, and especially the intimacy channel, which is the most important one. So let me give you more examples in different charts so that you get more of a sense of what I'm talking about. Look, this is a projector chart, and I chose one where we can still see the curiosity channel, the seeker, and yet here we don't have mutation, but we have judgment, insatiability. Now, not only is this person seeing everything that's wrong in the world around them, they have this vital, electrifying, joyful energy that wants to stimulate other people to really see it as well and correct it and make the world a better place. Now, it's a projector, so there is a dilemma in there, which is like, yeah, you can see it straight away with your splenic authority. It doesn't mean you're meant to do something about it straight away. You're obviously waiting for the invitation, for the recognition, for the right opportune moment or opportunity, we could say. I mean, the fourth line in the profile. So it's not that the person needs to be asked by somebody else. It can be in a situation that invites you to actually share your observations. Whatever it is, if you do it from the place of invitation and from the place where your spleen, your authority, in this case, we would speak about instincts. If your instinct gives you the go ahead, like, yep, that's the right opportunity for me to bring it up. I wanted to tell him or tell her for a long time, but it wasn't coming up. Now is the right moment for me to bring it up. Then not only will you get attention and the recognition of the person you're speaking with, or people maybe, But you can also, again, get them on board and get them on your side in terms of like, let's make a world a better place by sharing all these curious ideas in this very captivating, stimulating way that the channel of curiosity, the design of a seeker can do. But if you just go, sharing all the things you're curious about, you'll never actually get a chance to really fix something vitally important for you to correct in the world. So again, you can see the priority is outlined in the channel that defines the authority center. Here we have a splenic authority. This channel of judgment and insatiability is just like it can't get enough of making the world a better place. And yet, we know open sacral, not knowing when enough is enough, you actually need to have some, awareness of when you're invited to do it. Now, when you're invited, then part of the way, part of how you guide other people to correct the world around you is that you get them curious about, hey, wouldn't it be great if these things were fixed, if they work better? Let's find a way. And it can be something they do together, or it can be just something that the person does for someone else. It can be a part of how they guide somebody else, like how, because they recognize somebody needs something in their life. And when the right moment comes up, they go like, and they share something, and it's the aura talking. It's like you can learn to be a public presenter if you go to some school of public presenting, but if you have it in your design, you don't need to be learning it. It's like if you have it like this in your design, the aura does the work. It's like the energy is there, and in the right moment it just carries, and you really get them curious. You really make them want to find the way to correct something in their lives. So in response, and when okayed by your, instincts, you can get other people curious how they can correct and improve their life. And if you wait to be invited, that's how you get to be successful as a projector, right? That's how you get to live your signature. So again, just, playing with things in the chart, playing with priorities, playing with keynoting.